So then let's move on. John Piper. Rob found this, or somebody sent this to us. I'm sorry. Somebody sent this to us. This teaching was presented on October 6th.
One of our friends up north in the Great White North sent it.
That's right. October 6th, 1985.
That's how long ago that was?
Yeah, I
thought his voice sounded a little youthful.
Yeah.
compared to
that's why I found the date. Is I was like, dude, how old is he here?
It's like, this guy's a young preacher. So to be fair, I'm glad you chased that little nugget down for us, Caleb, because that does give us some.
However, this is an argument that I've heard a lot of times, and we'll listen to it real quick. So I was 4 years old when he preached this. He's preaching now on Exodus 21. That is 20. Verse 1 through 11. Let's go there real quick. Exodus 20, verses 1 through 11. Now, he's already read this and had somebody read it for him. This is what one of his conclusions is. This is only 34 seconds long. I'm sure those of us who have been in the Messianic and Hebrew roots world for any amount of time, talking to our Christian brothers and sisters in the Lord, I'm sure that we probably have heard this same kind of argument. It's this, unfortunately, I love Piper, but it's discouraging his views of certain parts of the Torah, the Sabbath being one of them.
Make it one day out of 7. Verse 6. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. Work 6, rest 1. Work 6, rest 1. That's the biblical pattern laid down in the Ten Commandments. It doesn't seem to be of the essence here, whether it happens to be Sunday or Saturday. The point is, work 6, take a day off. Work 6, take a day off.
Okay, so obviously he says that it doesn't matter what day you take off, as long as you're taking a Sabbath. Do you want to start on this? The Christian idea, many Christians say, well, I take a Sabbath. I tend to work weekends, so I usually take Monday off as my Sabbath. Or some people, one of the main things that a lot of Christians will say is, well, I keep a Sabbath. It's Sunday, and God doesn't really care what day it is, as long as it's a day, right? And that's what Piper's saying here.
I do have something I want to point out from Scripture, but first, this marks Piper off from example, the Lutheran tradition, which teaches that the Sabbath is, the 7th day is still what we call, Saturday, more or less, but that Lutherans don't observe it out of Christian liberty, right? So they observe the first day. It's the Catholic tradition, is it not, that says, no, the Sabbath is now Sunday, and we changed it. He's not taking either of those positions. He's taking a position that says it just is you work 6 days and then you rest the 7th. And the problem here is that it's not our Sabbath. It's God, right? I mean, God, when he gives it, with the manna back in Exodus in the wilderness, there was a day, it wasn't any, work 6 days and on the, whatever 6 days you want, and then the 6th day, there will be a double portion for you. No. And the guy who was stoned for picking up wood on the Shabbat, obviously, but if he might not want to go to quote Old Testament scriptures, but I would ask, why would Yeshua in Matthew say, pray that your flight will not be on the Sabbath? And not only that, it's got the definite article everywhere. The Sabbath, the Sabbath. Isaiah 58, if you call the Sabbath a delight and do not do your own fancies on my holy day, right? Whose day is it? So the Sabbath is defined by God, and it's not movable, right? It's
I want to go to Exodus 31, 31:13. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the sons of Israel, saying, you shall surely observe my Sabbaths, for this is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. Therefore, you are to observe the Sabbath For it is holy, to you. Everyone who profanes it shall surely be put to death. For whoever does any work on it, that person shall be cut off from among his people. For 6 days, work may be done, but on the seventh day, there is a Sabbath of complete rest, holy to the Lord. Whoever does any work on the Sabbath day shall surely be put to death. Okay, now, the first thing that we need I'll keep going here in a second because there's more. The first thing we need to realize is that if everybody gets to choose what day is their Sabbath, then how are you going to hold anybody accountable? How can someone die? You see somebody picking up sticks on Saturday. You say, "Oh, look, that guy's he's working on the Shabbat.
And he's like, time out.
Let's stone him."
This is my fifth day.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, excuse me. I take Monday as the Sabbath. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, never mind. Keep going. No, obviously not. Right? There has to be some kind of a standard. And so
Plus,
anyway,
it's a group of it's people together. You shall keep my Sabbaths. Y'all shall keep my Sabbaths. So that first of all, they're his, and he's taking a group of people. So that means all the people must be in agreement as to when it is. So yeah,
I'm getting a static click from you, man. Like jiggle your cord a little or something. Okay, I want to keep going. 31:16. So the sons of Israel shall observe the Sabbath to celebrate the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the sons of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and the earth, but on the seventh day he ceased from labor and was refreshed. In other words, it was a very specific day. It wasn't God. Didn't shift. The first 6 days he worked, and the seventh day, and this is what we're celebrating. So, I mean, I would ask, is the 4th of July? Can we just choose any day in July that we want to celebrate it? No, of course not. The idea that that every other holiday is set, and every holiday and every birthdays are always set. It's always the same day of the week. But when it comes to the Sabbath, the one that is like one of the most important days to celebrate, that we're supposed to celebrate forever, it can shift. What other day does that? What other celebration does that? Where you can say, oh well, I guess you missed it here. Put it 3 days later, it's okay. Or I like celebrating it 4 days before everyone else. No, it doesn't work like that.